Hey everyone and welcome back. In today's video we will be discussing about the cross account S3 access. Now cross account S3 access is a pretty common use case that you will find in lot of organizations. So as far as the real world scenario and even for the exam is concerned, it is important for us to understand on how we can achieve the cross account S3 bucket access. Now, in order to understand this, let's take an example where an organization has two AWS accounts. Now, the account A has all the S3 buckets created and the account B has all the EC2 instances. Now, the EC2 instances from the account B needs to periodically back up all the data to the S3 bucket which resides in the account A. Now the question is how to achieve this use case. Now we have already seen that S3 bucket by default is private. That means no one outside of the AWS account will be able to access it. Now the use case here is that a different AWS account altogether should be able to access the S3 bucket. Now this can again be achieved with the help of a S3 bucket policies. So let's go ahead and look into how we can achieve this use case. So we are in the KP Labs demo crossover bucket. And within this, I'll go to the permissions and I'll click on bucket policy. So this is the bucket policy that we had created earlier. Now within the bucket policy that we had created, if you'll notice, the principal here is asterisk. That means everyone. And then we are specifying the condition over here. Now, whenever it comes to cross account S3 bucket, within the principal, you need to give the ARN of the destination AWS account who would be accessing this specific S3 bucket. So for our demo purpose, I already have a sample S3 bucket policy which is created. I'll be putting again this below the lecture so that you can try it out yourself. And I'll paste that sample policy over here. Now, within the principal over here, if you'll see, I have a principal which is the ARN of the destination account. So this is, so assuming that the current account where the S3 bucket is residing is account A and account B wants to access this specific S3 bucket, then here we have to specify the principal associated with the account B. So within my account B, I'll just copy the account number and let me quickly verify if the account number. All right, so this is the new account number that I have pasted. Now, so this is the principal. The effect is allow. The principal is this account number. The action is S3 star. That means all the actions will be allowed and the resource would be KP Labs demo crossover. So this is the simple S3 bucket policy. Now do remember that we do not really need to remember to write the S3 bucket policy from scratch. There is a bucket, you have a IAM policy editor, you will have a lot of bucket policy examples that you will find in the documentation. The only thing that you'll need is to be able to do a Google search in the documentation to find the right examples, as well as able to read what this S3 bucket policy really means. So once you have done this, I can go ahead and click on save. Perfect. So now I have saved it. So what we'll do now is within the account B, let me go to the IAM, and within the IAM, I have created an IAM user called as account B, and this IAM user has an administrator access and it has an access and secret key as well. So coming back to our CLI, within the CLI, what I have done, let me quickly show you. I have two accounts. So this is the access and secret key associated with the account A, and I have access and secret key associated with the account B. And we'll try and see on how exactly we can work around. So the first thing that we'll do is AWS S3 LS. I'll specify the path of KP Labs -demo -crossover. The profile I'll be putting is account A. and I am able to successfully see the contents of the S3 bucket. Now in a similar way, this time I'll put the profile as account B, and currently it is showing as access denied. Now the answer to why this error is been occurring is quite interesting, and I have seen that in exam there are a lot of people who lose their marks specific for questions which actually pertains to the use case that we are discussing. Now the problem with this bucket policy, let me quickly open. The problem with this bucket policy is that we are actually giving access to the contents which are within the S3 bucket. So if I quickly show you, if I do a AWS S3 CP, I'll say demo.txt. So there was a file demo.txt. You see, I am able to successfully download a demo.txt file. However, when I try to list this specific bucket, it is showing as an access denied. So, what you'll need to do is basically you need to create an array. So there will be two ARNs that we'll be specifying over here. Let me make this policy much more tuned in. Now, I'll copy this once more and I'll paste it again. Let's format it. And I'll remove the slash asterisk and I'll close the array. Now the reason why the error was occurring is because currently in this specific ARN we are actually allowing the access to the contents which are within the S3 bucket. So there is a slash asterisk. So that means within the S3 bucket, inside the S3 bucket. But for the S3 bucket itself, we are not allowing any permission. So if you look into the ARN of this S3 bucket, so this is the ARN. So for this ARN, we are not giving any permission. We are just giving permission to the contents which are within this specific S3 bucket. And this is the reason why we were actually receiving the error. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and click on save. And now that the policy is saved, we'll go back to our console. Let's run the same command as earlier. And now you are able to successfully see the demo.txt file. Do remember, it is very important to remember the difference on why we are actually putting two ARNs within the resources field over here. The chances are that this would actually give you an opportunity in your certification exam when such questions have been asked. So coming back to the topic, now we have already confirmed that the account B has access to the S3 bucket. So what we will do now is we will create a file called as cross.txt, and within cross.txt I'll just say this is a file from account B. I'll go ahead and I'll save that file. So now we'll do a copy. I'll do a AWS S3 CP. I'll specify cross.txt and I'll copy it to kplabs-demo-crossover. The profile that I'll be putting is through account B. Perfect. So now you see the cross.txt has been uploaded to the S3 bucket. So in order to quickly verify, I'll refresh the page. And now you see there are two files. One is demo.txt and second is cross.txt. So cross.txt has been uploaded through the IAM users access secret keys of account B, and demo.txt is something that we had uploaded from the console itself in the earlier video. So this is it about cross account S3 bucket. I hope this has been understood by you, and there is one challenge with this kind of access. So if I'll quickly show you, we'll actually dedicate the entire next lecture to understand this specific challenge, but I would just like to give you a glimpse on what has happened. So if I do a AWS S3, let me do a AWS S3 CP, I'll say S3 kplabs-demo-crossover demo.txt, and the profile that we'll be giving is account A. Oops, I have to specify the path, and it says it has successfully downloaded. Now, if I try to download the cross.txt, it is showing 403 permission denied. And even from the generally from the console, if you'll see over here, it is showing access denied, access denied. Even though I am a administrator user, in fact I am logged in as a root account, still I am getting access denied. And many people really wonder, like, they are actually logging in through root account, still they are not able to access those files. Now the question is why, and this is something that we'll be discussing in the next video on the precautions that you need to take specifically when it comes to the cross account S3 bucket access. Lot of things is something that we have learned, and I am pretty excited for the next video, and we'll look into the solution and the cause on why that error has really occurred.